Let's head up southwestern Kansas. Today, we're going to be talking about the Kiowa, and specifically Kiowa County in southwestern Kansas. So, Kiowa County is named after the Kiowa peoples. The Kiowa peoples are Native Americans who originally come from northern headwaters of the Missouri River. So, originally, and when I say originally, this is when we get into the topic of history versus prehistory. The only difference between history and prehistory is history has a written account that we can go back and somewhat verify. Prehistory is everything that happens before that. So when we're talking about Kansas, technically history in Kansas doesn't begin until the 1540s when the Spanish arrive and start writing stuff down. Most of the native tribes of Kansas don't have a written language. Most of it was passed down through oral tradition. So when we're talking about the Kiowa peoples, this is from their own history and from what we've been able to gather from other sources. So, we know that they started up in the upper Missouri regions, and then they slowly began heading south until they eventually rest in this region of Kansas. And they cover, originally, their lanes go from parts of Colorado, following the Arkansas River, down through Texas and the Panhandle, and the Oklahoma Panhandle, and into a little bit of New Mexico as well. The Kiowa are going to make a pact with the Comanche peoples, and they're actually going to share hunting lands and provide a mutual defense for one another. In Kansas, as native removal starts bringing more and more Native Americans in from other parts of the country to Kansas, Oklahoma, and those areas that the Kiowa consider their own, you're going to have a lot of conflicts. And the Kiowa, they had conflicts with other tribes. They would go to war with other tribes would go to war with them over territory and other reasons. This is why also the people who say that the Native Americans had no concept of land ownership, yes, they did. They absolutely did. They're not going to war over something they don't have a concept over. So they believe that land was theirs, and it was. Through a series of treaties that are going to be signed in the late 1800s, they are eventually going to be moved to a reservation in Oklahoma, where the official Kiowa tribe still exists today. And yes, it is pronounced Kiowa, not Kiowa. Kiowa. Don't be that person. In more recent history, Kiowa County is also home to Greensburg, Kansas, known for the world's largest hand-dug well and a massive tornado that pretty much took out almost the entire town. I have been through Greensburg and Kiowa County several times when I used to live in southwestern Kansas. That was on my way on Highway 400 or Highway 54. Well, 54, 400, but 54 to go back in there. They've done an excellent job rebuilding. They got a lot of beautiful things, a lot of good restaurants, and it's a really fun place to visit. So, one more county down. We're going to make progress before school starts, I hope.